Dandadan. It's an experience. No, I'm serious. It feels like a fever dream you just can't wake up from. I was chilling talking to my friend one day and he hit me up like, "You watching Dandadan?" And I was like, "Nah, what's the hype about?" Little did I know what I was about to get myself into. Now, I didn't pick this anime up right away, and you wanna know why? Like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. I thought it was just a seasonal horror anime, like Blue Lock dropping during the World Cup, like a right time, right place type of thing. But then he tells me, "Nah bro, it's a romance." I'm a walking romance repellent. Why, you may ask? Romance in anime, in my experience at least, never really ends well for the most part. It's always one, some character geeking out their balls for characters that doesn't know they exist, or two, they never really confess their interest to each other. And it hurts after a while, because they love playing the will they won't they for a long time. Even with all that said, I decided to give one episode of Dandadan a chance. And bruh,
I'll let you suckle my teats, boy. If you let me gobble your dog.
what am I watching? Like, seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if someone called this anime an acquired taste, if you will. The show starts off showing us a breakup, and from the opening scene I knew this was gonna be a wild ride. Cause let me walk by a school and see a couple leave one another by throwing straight hands. Meet Ayase. She's a fire protagonist. She's a cool teenage girl who's on the outside bold, confrontational, and the type to irritate you low-key. But who she is on the inside, she's caring and a person who looks out for others. On the other side of the coin, meet Ken. On the outside, bro is literally labeled as an otaku. Now look, I have nothing wrong with the otaku people who are watching this. Me personally, I am not an otaku and I don't think I ever will be. It's just not happening. I was surprised that the anime was even using this term so loosely. It literally threw me off. But bro's not an otaku, he's actually a giga chad. He has so much aura that this man can't even use his real name around Ayase, or she'll literally have a love overload. The only thing though is, he doesn't even know it. This guy does not understand his potential. At first my guy was so lonely until he meets Ayase. But how does an anime that seems to just be about people building a connection go to this? The way the show tackles aliens and ghosts is similar to Mob Psycho. These ghosts and aliens aren't just scary with no layers to them, but they have weird and quirky and awkward personalities while wanting to kill you. Like in episode 1, where the terrible ghost granny's whole goal is to suck and take Ken's balls. I'm not joking when I say this, it even felt weird coming out of my mouth. She was trying to give that man that hawk and spit on that thing. The way we even encounter these ghosts is because of these two. Not like they didn't always exist, but their curiosity led them to an almost certain death. The saying curiosity kills the cat ain't even enough with them. It's more like the more you F around, the more you find out. Ayase is raised by her spirit medium grandma, and not one of those fake ones. She really do this. She knows who your crush is that you won't get with if you don't get up and talk to him. She's like that. And because of her, Ayase believes in ghosts. Ken, on the other hand, is obsessed with UFOs and aliens, and they end up crossing paths. She stands up for him after he gets bullied. She tries to leave it at that, but that man Ken started speaking with that alien Riz, and the conversation ends up being a how much you wanna bet type of situation. Yeah, how much you wanna bet ghosts ain't real? No, how much you wanna bet aliens ain't? Them taking on each other's interests to prove one another wrong is how we get to the plot of the show. They're both right, and they gotta face the consequences. What makes Dandadan great in my opinion is that it understands balance. Season 1 of Dandadan was literally about surviving the many ghosts and aliens while trying to receive the man's balls back. But even in the midst of that crazy synopsis I just gave, it manages to keep the love and the romance. Like I said, I thought romance was cringy, but it's my favorite part about this show. It's like an eye of a hurricane. It's always like a nice and funny chill spot before we go back to fighting evil. It's pretty clear that these characters like each other. I'm glad that they don't have to go back and forth on trying to let us know. But what I like about it is that they're friends first before moving into a couple stage. It happens naturally and it's funny because ISA didn't even expect it to. The way she gets her first butterfly feelings is something that I think everybody can relate to. She believed that it was supposed to be the textbook guy you seen on the cologne commercials, but those feelings gut punched her, surprising her. She was like, what? She likes this guy because he's genuine and selfless. And the reason why I keep watching is because they get the aspect of overthinking right. They don't have a title, so they can't necessarily have problems. There's no cheating involved. But just like when we were younger, they overthink every situation when it comes to anyone else talking to them. There are characters in this show that make them overthink so much they make their own love triangle in their heads. And I'm surprised that the show did, but in the last 3 episodes, they introduced a new character. The guy she tells you not to worry about. Gigi had my guy Ken in shambles. In his eyes, he was a 6-foot nonchalant dreadhead. And it makes him act different and try to win over a heart he's already won. Both of them have moments where they leap to conclusions, but all it does is make them realize how much more they like one another while not being afraid to show it. The show doesn't make one character too head over heels either, to where they can't crack jokes on one another or be silly. ISA and Ken's dynamic is hilarious. They're not afraid to joke around or call each other ugly or even roast. This show doesn't make their romance annoying or a problem with it because it actually progresses their character. Ken went from being a friendless otaku to now being a person who's improving his ability to socialize and display his personality. And in turn, ISA opens up and realizes it doesn't matter what the outside world thinks. I'm ready for Dandadan Season 2 because Season 1 actually caught me off guard. It was an enjoyable ride. If you vibed with the video, subscribe. Subscribe, please. No, seriously, join the fam. But thanks for watching. God bless and peace.